The Prophet Saleh, the tribe of Thamud and the Prophet Saleh. Thousands of years ago, there used to be a place called Hicr between Medina and Damascus. Here there lived a tribe called Thamud. The people of Thamud were the descendants of the Prophet Noah's son Sam. They were the members of the tribe Hud. They had left the city of Eram together with the Prophet Hud and settled there. The grandchildren of the tribe of Thamud were only a small group at first, then later became a large tribe. The city of Hicr had wide and abundant gardens, green fields and large areas of land. The people of Thamud had built palaces and huge, strong houses on rocks that could not be destroyed. Allah had granted these people strength, power and wealth, just as he had granted to the people of Hud. Many years passed. During this time, Satan had succeeded in deceiving and showing the wrong path to the people of Thamud, just as he had the people of Hud. The more their material strength and wealth prospered, the more bad-hearted they became. They no longer believed in Allah or worshipped him. They started worshipping the idols that they had carved from big rocks. They had forgotten that their ancestors were destroyed for that very reason. It was as if they couldn't remember that after their death, they would be brought back to life and would have to give Allah an explanation of the things they did. They had got caught up in their wealth and prosperity. They were having a very pleasurable time in their big palaces and houses. Allah eventually sent the tribe of Thamud, who were doing very bad things, a prophet called Saleh. After Saleh became a prophet, he gathered the people and made an announcement to them. Dear people, worship Allah. There is no God other than him. Do not cause problems on this earth by rebelling against Allah. I am a trusted messenger sent to you by Allah. Listen to me and do as I tell you. The people asked Saleh, what is your intention, Saleh? Are you trying to change our minds about worshipping the idols that our ancestors worshipped? The Prophet Saleh replied, those idols are just pieces of rock. They will do no one any good and no harm will come from them either. We should only worship Allah who created everything. The people of Thamud thought some of the things Saleh said were true. You are right, dear Saleh, and we believe you. Most of the people who thought like this were the poor, pure and kind-hearted ones. They weren't arrogant like the rich and bad-natured ones. They didn't look down on people. However, the majority of the tribe who became arrogant from their wealth and strength didn't believe Saleh. You were a good man once. However, now you talk nonsense. How can you make us not worship the idols? Have you gone mad? The Prophet told them the truth. No, I haven't gone mad. I only ask you to worship Allah. This is for your own good. I do not ask anything of you in return. Allah will give me my reward. Can't you see that the good people have believed me? Why are you insistent on denying? Those who didn't believe Saleh dispersed in anger. The Miracle of the Camel. The Prophet Saleh didn't give up despite the fact that most of the tribe rejected him and thought that he was lying. He kept telling the people what was right no matter how much they rejected him. Whenever he came across people, he would invite them to believe in Allah and give them advice. Those who denied the Prophet Saleh were very angry at him, but were also surprised at his efforts. They had realized that there was no chance of stopping the Prophet Saleh. For that reason, they left him alone and started to bother the other believers. They would go up to them and mock them and try to make them angry so that they would get fed up. They even tortured them from time to time. The Prophet Saleh constantly warned the believers by saying, Dear believers, do not take those people who are arrogant and cause problems seriously. Listen to me and take heed. If you do as I tell you, Allah will be thankful and grant you many blessings. You will live in fruitfulness. These kinds of speeches went on for a long time. The tribe of Thamud's bad behaviour was getting worse and worse each and every day. Eventually Allah warned them by sending them a drought. All the wells dried up except for one in the city of Hicr. The water in this well was plentiful and was enough for all of the community. But it was very difficult to carry the water in order to water the fields and gardens. This bothered the people very much and made them uneasy. Up until this day, they had lived in prosperity and had never come up against such difficult times. They blamed Saleh for this disaster that had found them. They began to make plans to ridicule him in front of the whole community. It was a religious holiday, and everyone had gathered in the town centre and took part in a festival, as was tradition. The Prophet Saleh had used this opportunity to tell the people what his mission was and to show them the right way. At that moment, the so-called wise people of the tribe started to put their plan into action. They went up to the Prophet Saleh and said, "O Saleh, we thought you were a good man, but you have changed. You started making silly claims. The explanation for this must be that someone has put a spell on you. You are not aware of the things you say. If you really are a prophet, then you would have shown us a miracle. You would have done what we asked you to." The Prophet Saleh told them that he would do anything with Allah's help. He said that he would show them the miracle that they wanted. The idol worshippers then told the Prophet Saleh that they wanted him to make a red-haired camel come out of a big rock from outside the city. They thought they had put the Prophet in a difficult situation with this wish. They thought there was no chance that he could do what they had asked. Upon the idol worshippers' wish, the Prophet Saleh prayed to Allah for his help. He asked Allah to show the people the miracle they had asked for. Allah accepted the Prophet Saleh's prayer and sent him this revelation. "Dear Saleh, tell your people to gather around that rock. I will make a big and beautiful camel come out of it. That camel will have so much milk that people won't be able to finish milking it. However, there is one condition. They will get water from the well every 2 days. One day they will leave the well to the camel, and the next day they will use it themselves. They will see that the camel will drink water from the well as much as they do." Saleh was relieved after receiving this revelation. He told his people about it and asked them to believe him when the miracle came true. They accepted the offer, but they didn't believe the Prophet Saleh would make a camel come out of the rock, or that it would drink all the water in the well and not run out of milk. They were all saying, "These words are nothing but nonsense." The news had spread, and everyone knew that the Prophet Saleh was going to make a big camel come out of a rock. The whole city was talking about it. Everyone who believed and didn't believe that this miracle would come true was becoming impatient. A big crowd had gathered around the rock that was outside the city. All the townspeople were there. The people were all waiting anxiously. The Prophet Saleh was very calm and collected. He first cleaned himself and performed 2 rakats of salat, prayer, in front of everyone. He prayed to Allah. All of a sudden, the rock split in 2 with a great noise. After the dust settled, a beautiful red-haired camel came out of it. Its udders were full of milk. The camel went amongst the shocked crowd and started wandering around. Women started milking it one by one and filling up the buckets and saucepans that they had brought from their homes. Despite the fact that everyone was milking it, its milk wasn't running out at all. Everyone was staring at the camel in amazement. Then, all of a sudden, the animal headed towards the well. It put its head inside the well and drank all of the water until the very last drop. Those who had believed Saleh shouted, "Saleh was right. He is a messenger sent by Allah." Many people came to believe Saleh after this event. But those who didn't believe him didn't say a single word. They didn't know what to do, having seen this miracle. But they still didn't believe Saleh and said, "Saleh probably made a magic spell." They were trying to find an excuse for the miracle. With their heads down, they left. The idol worshippers killed the camel. The camel was now living amongst the tribe. They took turns, and one day the camel drank from the well. The next day the townspeople drank from it. After the camel drank its water, it would sit by the well, and the people would come and milk it. They would both drink its milk and also make different milk products from it. The followers' beliefs would increase every time they saw the camel, and they would often pet it. The disbelievers, on the other hand, became even angrier. The Prophet Saleh constantly warned his people, "This camel is a proof of Allah's existence. Do not try to kill it. Let it graze as it likes on Allah's ground. If you harm it in any way, you will face Allah's punishment." The days went by, and the disbelievers' hatred for the camel increased. However, they were scared by what the Prophet Saleh had told them and couldn't do anything about it. But eventually, 9 people from the tribe, who were well known for their bad behaviour and lies, came forward and formed a gang. One night they secretly gathered. After they got totally drunk, they said amongst themselves, "We cannot leave Saleh and his camel to themselves. We have no peace left because of them. To get rid of them all, we must first kill the camel and then Saleh and his family." All of them liked this idea and made their plan. It was another crowded day, and the camel was busy drinking water from the well. The leader of the evil gang of 9, Hicr, sneaked up on the camel. He quickly used his bow and fired an arrow at it. The camel bellowed in pain, and after struggling for its life, it fell on the ground lifeless. Blood spread on the ground. As soon as the Prophet Saleh heard the news, he went to the camel. When he saw the camel in such a bad state, he started crying. He knew then that this was the end of his tribe. At that moment, one of the disbelievers said, "O Saleh, as you see, we've killed the camel. If you're a prophet, let's see this punishment that you speak of." The Prophet Saleh's reply was this: "Dear people, what do you think you are doing? That's it for you now. You have 3 days left. Your faces will turn yellow on the first day. On the second day, you will turn red, and on the third day, you will turn black. After that, the punishment will come and destroy you." After that, the Prophet Saleh went away. The terrifying noise that destroyed the tribe of Thamud. The tribe of Thamud was mistaken in believing that their troubles would end by killing the camel. Suddenly, they found themselves in even bigger trouble. The Prophet Saleh's words were ringing in everybody's ears. In the meantime, the 9 men who had killed the camel gathered once more. As they had planned before, this time they were going to kill the Prophet Saleh and his family. One of them said, "If we kill Saleh, his tribe and his relations will try to get revenge." In reply to this, someone else said, "We should do this job at night when no one will see us. We will tell everyone during the day that we will leave the city the next morning to go on a journey. That way, no one will suspect us." The others liked this idea and started to get ready straight away. The gang of murderers told everyone of their journey during the day and then left the city. They then hid somewhere and waited for the right time to carry out their assassination. The people of Thamud's faces were turning yellow, as Saleh had said they would. There was great panic and chaos in the city. The thought of their destruction was consuming them. The second day, their faces turned red, and the following day, their faces were all black. Many people died because of that change. The gang had planned to attack Saleh when the faces of the people had turned black. The gang of murderers, who had surrounded the Prophet Saleh's house, was very surprised when they went inside because no one was there. Allah had warned the Prophet Saleh through the angel Gabriel and ordered him to leave the city together with his believers. The tribe of Thamud would be destroyed after midnight anyway. When it turned midnight, on the day that the Prophet Saleh had left the city of Hicr, the tribe of Thamud heard a terrifying noise. The noise was so incredibly loud that it made all of the disbelievers deaf. They were scared to death. They fell to the ground. The powerful noise blasted the tribe of Thamud, destroying the houses palaces and buildings they had made of stone. The next day the Prophet Saleh returned to the city and observed the scene. He said as he looked upon the destroyed city, "Dear people, I never asked for any reward from you in my entire life. I only asked you to believe in what is right. I gave you so much advice so that you would not fall into this situation, but you didn't listen. You deserved this punishment." After that, Saleh gathered his believers, which were about 4,000 people, and left the city. They headed towards Damascus and settled in a town there. All the prophets left the destroyed areas where their tribes used to live and migrated somewhere else. The Prophet Saleh lived for 20 more years with his followers after the city was destroyed. He passed away at the age of 158.